Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Tuesday's episode featured a group called Parent Jam, a dance group where parents dance with their children. The group's mission is to break down barriers between kids and their guardians. Unfortunately, Howie decided he wasn't a fan of the intergenerational group tonight. The 67-year-old hit his buzzer on the group before they were finished performing. When it came time to hear from the judges panel, the host of the show, Terry Crews, 55, skipped over Howie and went straight to Simon Cowell, 63. He said, "I really like this act because they have a purpose. It's not an act that just wants to get a few more views on TikTok." The former X Factor judge also said that the group has upped their game since their audition. He then added, "It wasn't perfect, and it shouldn't be perfect. It was just fun. I love this act." Avois rebutl. Right after Simon was done speaking, Howie jumped in with his opinion of the group. The former game show host said, "I'm going to be totally honest. I agree with you, Simon. This is just fun." He also said the group was a great idea for a franchise that could take over Mommy and Me classes. He then added, "It shouldn't be $1 million show in Vegas. It's nothing anybody's going to buy tickets to for a concert. But I would take my kids to it." At this point, the whole AGT audience started booing Howie. He was booed so much that he stood up to yell at the audience, and he was told by Terry and other judges to sit down. Simon even hit his buzzer to show his displeasure with Howie. Fans on X, formerly known as Twitter, shared their opinions of Parent Jam online, and the vote was split. One said, "Watching at AGT, and must confess I agree with at Howie Mandel about #ParentJam, and at Heidi Klum made his point for him when she agreed she wanted to do that with her kids, not necessary but tickets to a show." Another said, "Yes, at Howie Mandel #AGT yes. As usual, we agree with Howie. Parent Jam, it's not a $1 million act, but you had a great idea for them, start a franchise." A third added, "At AGT Howie, Vegas could use more family-friendly options." At Phil_Wright_, the Parent Jam is definitely a solid contestant in that segment. Someone else said, "I'm glad Simon gave Howie an X. Did he wake up on the wrong side of the bed? America, please vote for the Parent Jam." AGT's Howie Mandel gets up from seat during explosive fight with Simon Cowell as judges disagree over family dance act. America's Got Talent, AGT, has seen its fair share of incredible performances, emotional moments, and even heated disagreements among its panel of judges. But rarely has a disagreement erupted into a spectacle as dramatic as what transpired recently between veteran judge Howie Mandel and the show's creator and longtime judge Simon Cowell. The incident, which occurred during a live taping of AGT, centered around a family dance act that left the judges deeply divided, with emotions running high and tensions boiling over. The confrontation between the two judges ultimately resulted in Mandel standing up from his seat in a rare display of frustration and exasperation. This explosive fight not only captivated the audience, but also raised questions about the balance between personal taste, artistic merit, and the often unpredictable nature of live television. The build-up, a family dance act, takes center stage. The night had been progressing smoothly, with a wide variety of acts ranging from acrobats to magicians gracing the AGT stage. The energy in the room was palpable as audiences eagerly awaited each new performance, and the judges were in their usual form, offering praise, critiques, and the occasional zinger to keep things light. However, the mood shifted when a family dance group took the stage. Consisting of parents and their children, the group delivered an upbeat, high-energy routine that was clearly the product of hours of practice and dedication. Their choreography, though not overly complex, was synchronized and polished, and their passion for performing together as a family was evident. From the outset, it was clear that the family had won over the audience. The crowd cheered and clapped along with the music, and there was a tangible sense of support in the air. The act concluded to a standing ovation from many in the audience, and the family beamed with pride as they awaited the judges' feedback. A divided panel, praise versus criticism. As the applause died down and the family stood nervously under the spotlight, it was time for the judges to weigh in. Heidi Klum and Sofia Vergara were quick to offer praise. Klum commended the group for their coordination and the heartwarming nature of their act, while Vergara highlighted the emotional connection between the family members, noting that their bond made the performance even more special. Both judges emphasized the joy that the family brought to the stage and how they had clearly worked hard to put together a performance that would resonate with viewers. When it came time for Howie Mandel to speak, his reaction was similarly positive. Mandel, who has a known soft spot for unique and uplifting acts, applauded the family for their enthusiasm and effort. He pointed out that AGT is not just about technical perfection, but also about connection and entertainment. And the family dance act, in his view, delivered on both fronts. Mandel's comments were met with applause from the audience, further solidifying the group's status as fan favorites. However, the mood shifted dramatically when Simon Cowell, the final judge to speak, shared his thoughts. Known for his brutally honest critiques, Cowell did not hold back. While he acknowledged the family's passion and the effort they had put into their performance, he was quick to point out what he saw as the shortcomings of the act. Cowell criticized the choreography as basic and uninspired, and he questioned whether the family had the potential to compete with some of the more technically skilled dance acts that had appeared on the show. His critique was met with boos from the audience, but Cowell, unfazed, continued to assert that while the act was charming, it simply wasn't up to the standard of what AGT should be showcasing at this stage of the competition. The tension rises. Mandel defends the family. As Cowell finished his critique, it became clear that the judges were not on the same page. Howie Mandel, visibly frustrated, leaned forward in his chair and immediately countered Cowell's harsh assessment. He argued that AGT is about more than just technical skill. It's about entertainment, heart, and bringing joy to the audience. Mandel pointed out that the audience's reaction spoke volumes about how much they loved the performance, and that dismissing the family based solely on technical criteria would be unfair. You have to look at the bigger picture, Mandel said, gesturing toward the audience. This is a family, performing together, bringing something joyful and different to the stage. The audience loved it. Isn't that what this show is about? It's not just about being the best dancer or the best singer, it's about connecting with people. Cowell, however, was unmoved. He shot back that while he appreciated the sentiment, the competition was too fierce to allow for acts that weren't at a certain level of expertise. Look, I love the fact that they're a family, but that doesn't mean we can ignore the fact that this is a competition, Cowell argued. At this stage, we need acts that are going to blow us away, and I just didn't see that here. The exchange quickly escalated as both judges began talking over each other, with Mandel becoming increasingly animated in his defense of the family. His frustration with Cowell's insistence on technical perfection boiled over as he stood up from his seat, his hands gesturing emphatically as he spoke. "This is what makes me crazy about you, Simon," Mandel exclaimed, clearly exasperated. "You're so focused on perfection that you forget about the heart of the performance. These people came out here and gave it their all. They brought something beautiful to this stage, and you just brush it off like it's nothing. It's not just about who has the best moves, it's about who can move the audience." A standoff on stage, the audience takes sides. The intensity of the exchange left the audience in shock, and the tension in the room was palpable. While some in the crowd seemed to side with Cowell's more critical approach, the majority were firmly in Mandel's corner. Chants of Howie, Howie, began to rise from the audience, adding to the chaos. At this point, host Carrie Cruz stepped in, attempting to calm the situation and bring some order back to the proceedings. As Mandel continued to stand, clearly unwilling to back down, Cowell remained seated, his arms crossed and his expression one of steely resolve. "We're here to find the best talent," Cowell said, his voice cutting through the noise. "And I'm sorry, but this just isn't it." Mandel, still standing, shook his head in disbelief. "That's where you're wrong, Simon. Talent isn't just about being the best on paper, it's about how you make people feel. And this family made people feel something special." The standoff between the two judges left the family dance act visibly uncomfortable as they stood on stage, watching the argument unfold. The parents exchanged glances, clearly unsure of how to react, while their children clutched each other's hands, their earlier joy now replaced by anxiety. A resolution of sorts, moving forward. After several tense moments, Cruz managed to regain control of the situation, urging the judges to cast their votes so the competition could continue. In the end, the family act received enough support from Mandel, Clum, and Vergara to move forward in the competition, much to the delight of the audience. However, the incident left a lasting impression, with many viewers taking to social media to express their support for Mandel's stance and to criticize Cowell for what they saw as an overly harsh and cold approach. As the show progressed, the tension between Mandel and Cowell lingered, with the two judges exchanging pointed remarks throughout the remainder of the evening. While disagreements between the AGT judges are nothing new, the intensity of this particular confrontation stood out as a rare moment of genuine conflict on a show that typically balances critique with encouragement. The aftermath. What does it mean for AGT? The explosive fight between Howie Mandel and Simon Cowell over the Family Dance Act raises interesting questions about the nature of talent competitions like AGT. Should the emphasis be on technical excellence, or is there more to a great performance than just skill? For Mandel, it's clear that heart and connection are just as important as precision, while Cowell remains focused on finding acts that can compete at the highest level. This clash of philosophies is likely to continue as the competition heats up, and it will be interesting to see how future acts are judged in the wake of this explosive confrontation. For the Family Dance Act, however, the night will undoubtedly be remembered as a roller coaster of emotions, a night where their performance brought joy to the audience, but also ignited one of the most heated arguments in AGT history. As AGT moves forward, viewers will be eager to see whether Mandel and Cowell can reconcile their differences, or if this disagreement will continue to simmer beneath the surface. Either way, the passion both judges bring to the show is a reminder of just how much is at stake, not only for the performers but for the judges themselves. After all, in a competition as unpredictable as AGT, anything can happen, even a fiery exchange between two of its most iconic figures. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Update World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.